Hi there folks, how you doing? Welcome to another flight, and in this flight we're going to be testing out the brand new PA28, for brand new to me anyway, the JustFlight. So first kind of impressions then, it looks like a PA28, you know, it looks kind of battered and beaten about like most kind of club flying aircraft and that kind of thing. So what we'll do, we'll get in the air and see what it's like handling wise, and then we'll do a couple of touch and goes and see what we think. All right, here we go. I'm not sure about first impression, immediate first impressions. I'm not sure about that wobbling of the aircraft. That doesn't feel very natural at all. Okay, right, up we go. Alright, got to remember we've got gear to take up in this aircraft. So gear up. Yeah, and I don't know whether it's a Microsoft Flight Simulator thing or whether it's a JustFlight thing, but you can really see the outline of the aircraft on the scenery. It's almost like got a line in front of the aircraft. Now I don't know whether that's Microsoft or JustFlight. It kind of looks like it's added on there rather than in the scenery. It's a bit of a shame. But anyway, let's get going. Alright, so first thing we'll do then, we'll go and let's get up to 1,000 feet so we can have, well, let's have a look. Have the fuel pump off. Well, the fuel pump can go off 1,000 feet. So, undercarriage is up. Flaps are up. And we need to stay below 2,000 feet. So we'll try and keep the rules a little bit here. So we'll bring back the power. My goodness, that's, now I don't know whether that's my throttle, but that's a long throw. I'm well over halfway before it starts to bring back the revs. Maybe not. It feels like a long way though. But that's probably in the settings. And okay, so we'll stick there at about 1750. And one thing I immediately like about this aircraft compared to a lot of the other aircraft is the trim seems to be quite good. When I say quite good, it seems to seems to be easy to apply and hold where it is. I'm actually missing my trim wheel at the moment because my Cytec panel had to go back, but it seems when I fly the Cessna, that I seem to be forever having to adjust the trim in that, and I don't know why. I don't know why that needs that. So I can't quite get the position quite right there. But for me, but hey. The stream's actually working. Should be 1080p 60. Good. Okay. So yeah, one of the things that just to keep some hours and that kind of thing I do, I fly out of Lyon Solent where we took off from, and you know, basically a 45-minute flight is to go around the Isle of Wight. So that's what we're going to do today, and I may try and land in at Sandown and see what that's like, but I can't imagine it will go well. I've had some interesting landings at Sandown, but we can give it a go. So I think that's better. That's a better position where I can just see bit of the kind of fairing over the engine there, so that's good. So I think we need a little bit more revs just to maintain. Yeah, so I need to look into the specs of this just to see what the difference is. So I just fly a basic PA28 181, I think it is, and you know, this is obviously a bit of a different aircraft, I suppose, you know, in terms of complexity, because it's got the variable pitch and the, which I don't normally use, and obviously the undercarriage as well. So there seems to be, can you see what I mean by there seems like a distinct line around the aircraft, so it doesn't sort of fit in. It seems like it's just on top of the scenery, and I think I saw something about that, another aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I'm not quite sure. So it just looks superimposed. I don't know whether that's the aircraft or whether it's an effect that has been put on by Microsoft Flight Simulator. It has a kind of glow around the edge, and that doesn't look particularly good, I don't think. Now hopefully that's a Microsoft Simulator thing that will get fixed. And I think when I was on the ground just now getting ready to take off, I'm not sure what all that wobbling was about. I don't think I would fly an aircraft that wobbled that much, and the wind was only about 4 knots, so it wasn't down to wind. But you know, if I think about I've done this flight many times now around the Isle of Wight like this, and it feels about the same. So just looking at the aircraft now, this is odd. Why? I don't know why the window is so dirty. Why would you do that? I mean, it's just, I'd never fly an aircraft with the window that dirty. I don't know. Hopefully, I don't think. Let's have a look. Can we change that? Let's have a quick look, see if we can change that. Is that settings? Windshield effects low. Can we turn it off? So I'm already on low. Discard. Resume. So it doesn't look like you can get rid of that. That's horrible. I mean, if this is modelled on a real aircraft, I don't know who the owner is, but they need to clean it. And on the front as well, the front screen, everything just looks... Is it on the... Yeah, it's got like a kind of... That's not particularly good at all. Don't like that. But it flies. Flies just like a PA28. Visually, everything's moving at the speed I would feel it would move normally. And doesn't seem to be any of that wobble in the air, which is good, because I think that would be unbearable. Yeah, so looking around the avionics then, you know, it just looks old, and I think it's because it's modelled on certain aircraft, but you know, I think the choice of avionics is not great really. You know, if I look at some of the planes that the club's got, some of the other PA28s, I have a lot of people have gone over to the Avionics now because it was such a good deal. You know, and I don't know, just, I don't know really. The transponder is, you know, there's not a choice of transponder, which is a shame, because you can't tailor the aircraft to. Maybe, you know, I might be kind of. I don't think there's a choice of transponder. So what we've got a choice of here. So we've got just a choice of different. Yeah, so it doesn't change the transponder. Keeping an eye on the height here. What else have we got? GPS 1000. No, that doesn't interest me at all. Just horrible. And the 430. So blown with the 430 and the 530. So that's good. Familiar with that, so that's all right. But let's say the transponder. Yeah. I mean, look, it's nice. It looks like a PA28, but I think with all these aircraft, the choice of the avionics is always a bit of a letdown when you fly, because you can't tailor it to be exactly what you want. But it does fly like a PA28, which is nice. So what we're going to do is venture around the Isle of Wight and perhaps try and get into Sandown as well. So the other thing is, I mean, the cockpits always seem a bit dark as well, so we can turn the lights up, which are good. I don't know, it's probably my eyes, but I think with most of the aircraft in the flight sim, I have the lights up anyway, particularly when I'm streaming because I can't see. But, so we're not going to do any of the normal checks. We're just going to basically just go for a little saunter or sortie around the Isle of Wight. And I've set some outside cameras up, so let's have a look at those as well. Not quite sure why that was not quite in the centre. This is quite good to check that the under. Oh my goodness, the needles really doesn't look like that at all. And some other shots there. So it's good to have these little shots. I don't know why that's off there. Okay. That looks great, doesn't it? That looks really nice. Right, let's get back in the cockpit, and we need to get a bit of height here, so let's add some power. And we'll climb up. Almost clear of the, well, we're clear of the 2000 restriction between Southampton and the Isle of Wight, which is a sonar radar restriction. Really miss my trim wheel that I had with the Cytec panels. Right, so we've got up to about 2,500 feet. It's uncanny really how close this feels to the real thing. Right, so let's just jump over to Sky Demon so you can see where we are. Just in case anybody does actually watch the video. If you do, hopefully you enjoy it. And so that's basically where we are. And what we're going to do is do a kind of circumnavigation around the Isle of Wight, but we might cut it short and go into Sandown. Too high, so there we go. So that will do us fine. So attitude, power, we can see the power, but the throw on the throttle that doesn't feel right at all. That's something that I'll either have to fix in the settings, or it's completely not right. The travel is way too much before the throttle starts reducing. Well, say it's way too much more than what I'm used to. That doesn't mean say that it's wrong. Right, so let's get back in the aircraft then. Right, there we are. So we're on the southerly part of the Isle of Wight now, or the southwesterly part, and 2,700 feet, and it flies just like a PA28. Absolutely marvellous. So if anybody is watching, if you've got any questions, do ask me. I haven't really done much streaming, so I'm still trying to get used to all the gear and all that kind of thing. But if you've got any questions at all, just drop it in the chat there. Right, so what I will actually do is just gradually come down to about 2,000 feet, because I think we will try and go into Sandown, which will be a bit of a giggle. So I must remember that I've actually got to put down my undercarriage. Because normally it's down all the time on the aircraft I fly. So let's have another couple of views outside. They seem to have moved a little bit, the views, from when I set them up earlier on. Music in the background. I know it's not everybody's taste, but it kind of just does break the monotony a little bit. So talking about music then, and sounds, it does sound really good. I think that they've done a really good job of the sounds on this. Okay, so I think we're going to turn in, and we're going to have a go at landing at Sandown. So this could be quite funny. Right, okay. I can't quite get the position right, or just like to normally see just a little bit above. Oh, there you go. That's not too bad. Actually just over the instruments there, so right, okay. So we're going to come into Sandown. Incidentally, if you are ever on the Isle of Wight, Sandown has a fantastic barbecue. It's worth looking up on the internet, because it is really good. Right, okay. Right, so I've got to get used to the different power settings on this. Definitely haven't got any flaps down yet, and it feels quite wobbly. And it's not windy, so I'm not sure what that is. It must be some sort of head shake or something like that. Right, so we need to keep this a bit low at the moment. So is that Sandown ahead there? Where is it? Ah, right, okay. That's not quite right, I don't think. I think it's round this corner. Definitely too low. Let's give it a bit of juice. Yeah, the cockpit position just isn't quite right.
Echo Golf Hotel Foxtrot traffic, generic golf. Sierra Uniform Delta Tango, taking off runway 23 departure to the north.
So where is Sandown? This is crazy. Where is it? It normally stands out like a sore thumb. I think I've missed it. It's over there. Right, okay. Slow enough just to get a bit flat down. Seating position is not nice at all. Let's make it flat. Gear down. Is that the runway? Surely not. I don't think that was the runway. And maybe this doesn't look right. Okay, so let's come off here. Flaps up. It could well be because the photo geometry is picked up. They've done some strange things to the runway at Sandown. I think they've put some kind of layering down so it can be more of a all-weather kind of runway. But I don't know, maybe that's what it is. Anyway, we made it down, and I remembered to put the undercarriage down, so that's a good thing. Right, so what we're going to do is go straight back out and take ourselves possibly back to Leon Solent. Okay, so yeah, that must be the runway. It's just a very strange kind of texture to it. Okay, so we'll just get around here. Okay, and just hold up there. Right, and we'll have the brake on. And we should have had the fuel pump on really for our landing, but never mind. So fuel pump's on. T's and P's look good, so we're going to be on the brakes, full power. One stage of flaps. Just check they've gone down. Yeah. Okay, and the brakes don't seem to be holding me. And away we go. Maybe. Why are we not increasing? Okay, there we go. We are now. Knots. Up we go. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. .250 feet. First station flat away. So what we'll do, we'll head out just north of the Isle of Wight, across the Solent, and then back into Daedalus, or Solent Airport as it's now called, on 05. Let's have a quick look where we are, Sky Demon. There you go, you can see we've just taken off from Sandown, and we'll go skirt along the northerly side of the Isle of Wight, and then across the Solent to land at Daedalus. Okay, so we'll continue the climb to about 2,000 feet. Nose. Picture looks about right. And there you go. So I'm pulling the throttle back, look, and it's taking ages for the throttle to actually reduce. So I'm not sure what that is. I'll have to check my settings, but it doesn't feel quite right. So I would think we're probably about 2,300 RPM, probably. Okay, there you go, it's Portsmouth Harbour just ahead, which actually did look quite good for about a week, and then for some reason Asobo took out Southampton and Portsmouth from the UK update, which is a bit of a shame because that's where I fly around. Oh, let's see how the balance ball reacts. Okay, I've got no rudder on. It's not actually moving that much. Okay. Climb up a bit more. Okay, so from here then we head back across the Solent, and it's nice. This is really nice to fly. Strange sort of turn to the left though. Now whether that's the, could it be the rudder needs trimming? Possibly. It's very strange. So another go. Would it be the rudder? Ah. There we go. Perhaps if we turn it the right way. Right, we need to make a turn. Otherwise we'll be interfering with Solent airspace here. Right, so we need to be at about 1,000 feet as we turn base, which will be just before we get to the shoreline. Right, so brakes, undercarriage mixture is rich. Fuel is good. So we will do the undercarriage as we make the turn onto base actually. Let's do it now just to be sure. So, throttle back. Stage flaps. Throttle's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Doesn't feel quite as responsive. Okay, so stage and flap. Oh, we could try and record this as well and see what it's like from different angles. Okay, so this is way too fast, and I've overshot the runway. That's because there's too many things, too many buttons to press. Okay, so can we save this? I think I've really gone past it, so. Okay, so keep the throttling just a little bit there. Really don't like that sitting position at all. Okay, way too fast. We'll try. Gears down. Okay, that does react pretty much like the PA28 when you're coming to land. But I'm not sure what this wobbling effect is though. It flaps up. That's really quite annoying. Right, okay, so let's just stop the recording and then we'll have a look to see how bad that landing was. Okay, so look, that was good. It flies like a PA28. I think there's a couple of little niggles with it that, I mean, it's one of those things, unless it looked like the aircraft that I normally fly, I probably wouldn't be 100% happy with it. But, oh, this is going to be tight. Oh, my rudder needs adjusting. This. Hi Henry, how you doing? Hi Henry, how you doing? Yeah, I think it's really good. I think it flies just like a normal PA28. There's a couple of odd things with it. I'll show you. I'll pull up on the runway and do another takeoff if you want to see that. So you come around here. Right, go out. This is 05 at Leon Solent. Are you familiar with this airport at all? Okay, I need to adjust my rudder pedals. Right, so basically, when you add the power, I think it's a head movement thing, but the real aircraft doesn't move around this much, even if you've got full power on, really, and you're on the brakes. There is a bit of movement, but this just feels a little bit too much, really. And the only other thing that I've seen that looks a bit odd, and maybe you can get rid of it, but is this kind of screen has this kind of blotchiness, like dirty marks on. And I've got my settings down. I mean, perhaps you know a different setting, but I don't seem to be able to get rid of these effects on the windscreen, so I think they might be baked into the actual model. So, but apart from that, it's lovely, really. Right, here we go then. Let's go. And it actually sounds like a PA28. It is really good. Oh, I think I've got a problem with my pedals. I need to set them up for this. Yeah, I don't know if it's bubbles or bits of dirt or whatever. I think it's an effect. So. There you go. So, I mean, that is, you know, as I say, I fly from this airport, and that is just what it feels like, really. So let's get some gear up. Yeah, in the air, it's absolutely stable. There is a little bit of a kind of wobble. I don't know if you can see that, but you get that anyway, obviously, in an aircraft. And so what we would do about here is we would turn round, left, about 1,000 feet, that would be our circuit height. And we would then head about there. Just get this. And as I say, the throttle seems to go a long way before something happens, but I think that might be my settings. So that's when you set yours up, it might be one to look out for, Henry. Right, there we go. So we've gone a bit too far for the circuit, but we can make that right. Come back round again. So there's the airfield over there. But yeah, it flies lovely. I've done some videos of my flying before, and if this actually looks just like my flying videos, it's incredible how real this all looks, really. So what do you fly, Henry? What's your favourite aircraft? So about here then we do brakes, undercarriage is up, mixture is rich, instruments come. Oh, nice. Oh, you'll like this. It's close. I do wish they'd brought out the Cherokee version first. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's definitely the closest. I looked at the Coronado one, and basically the instruments were so different. This is kind of like your standard 6-pack, and most of the things look the same to what I fly. Okay, so we can bring it round. So what we do now, we'd have copy on, and we pull the throttle back, lose some speed, get within flat range, the white arc, 1 stage, 2 stage of flaps. Slight bit of a stall there, that's probably a bit aggressive. No, stop, why? Does it want the gear down? Very strange. There we go. I think I've overshot again. Too many buttons to press. So we're going to have to lose quite a bit of height here. There we go. I actually fly the real thing much better than this, Henry. The GPS type, you change here on the iPad. Right, okay, here we go then. Undercarriage is down. Got to remember to do that because I don't do that in real life. Throttle is idle. It glides just like the real thing, Henry. There you go. And we're down. Flaps away. I didn't put the carb heat off, but I really should have done. And there you go, roll to the end. Yeah, needs a bit of practice, to be honest, Henry. Right. there we go. This end of the runway isn't quite right. But anyway, so we can come off at 2-3 and just taxi around here. This is where we do the warm-ups around here. So I think the throttle needs adjusting. So this is so real. This is exactly where I do the warm-up. Oh, good stuff. Well, hopefully you enjoy it, and I'm going to finish up there anyway. But yeah, good luck. Hopefully it flies exactly as you want. So good job. Anyway, look, if you like what you see, subscribe or whatever. And I'm trying to do 1 or 2 streams a week and trying to get used to doing this. So, but anyway, thanks for dropping by.